Hello, leaders. Hey, this is Paul Grau, and welcome to the weekend edition of Run to Your Leadership Challenges. This is a daily show that equips team leaders to lead through the challenges they face every day. So, today, I want to talk about meeting deadlines and how to instill practices so you can help others avoid ever being late. Now, before I get into that, I want to thank you for listening and sharing this show because leadership is a never-ending learning process, and we need to encourage others to continuously learn from others. Of course, I'm always interested in hearing what you are struggling with or challenged by. So please email me your challenges and struggles to paul@clcteam.com, and I'll be sure to talk about them. Okay, let's talk about meeting deadlines. Today's episode is actually from a listener who emailed me and said they struggle with meeting deadlines continuously and how everyone on their team seems to be following their lead. Now, we all know how influential we can be to our team members, and they can pick up on our habits very easily, both our good habits and our bad habits. So if we can instill good practices so that our team members follow our lead, man, it could be beneficial for the entire organization. The process that has been super helpful to me involves a few steps, but they're rather easy and it allows others to hold me accountable if I choose to include them. The first step is to track all of your activities throughout your day for about a week. I know that sounds painstaking to some of you, but with all the technology at our fingertips, our smartphones, and it makes this very easy. There are apps and journals for tracking your activities and lots of other ways. And to tell you the truth, I simply create a list in my Notes app on my phone, and I keep track of when I start and finish various tasks. And I don't track every minute. Like I don't put on there, hey, I went to the bathroom or, I answered this text or I replied to an email. But if it does take more than several minutes or like if it takes over 15 minutes, I will put it on there. Now, the whole purpose of tracking your activities is to identify the areas that are eating up a lot of your time. It also allows you to clearly see what your everyday tasks are and or habits are. It allows you to clearly see what time of day that you're most productive and the time of day that you're least productive. And it also allows you to clearly see exactly where you are wasting time. This step can be a real eye-opener, and you will most likely be amazed at how many hours a week you spend on certain things. It may make you rethink your priorities. Now, once you have this time/activity tracker completed, the second step is to identify what things are absolutely needed and on what days. These things go into your must-do list for each day. The remaining things on your list should not be critical tasks. They're the things that are nice to do or that kind of have to do eventually, but they're not critical. Once you have these two lists, try to narrow it down to your top 3 most critical tasks and put all the tasks in order of priority. Your top 3 become your most critical tasks of each day. And you can plug these into your calendar as close to the times when you are most productive, if at all possible. Now, at this point, you should have most of your must-do tasks on your calendar. The time that you have left is where you can plug in your non-critical tasks. The final step of this process is actually a 2-part step. And the first part takes place on Friday afternoon. And it's to review everything that you accomplished for that week and what the biggest priorities that you need to do next week. And then simply fill in your calendar for the following week accordingly. So let's recap. Before you leave work on Friday, your calendar for the following week should be filled in with all your critical tasks, including your biggest priorities and the times that you're going to complete them. Now, I know this doesn't work for everybody, but try to do your best at making this work for you. The second part of this last step is to review your calendar first thing on Monday morning. And if possible, maybe on Sunday evening so that you can prepare yourself mentally for the week ahead. As you review your calendar, you'll pay close attention to the priority/critical items, including the items that have deadlines. And you're going to ensure that you have scheduled enough time on your calendar for each one. Give yourself a little buffer around each critical task as needed. Once you have reviewed your calendar on Monday morning, it's time to get after it. It's time to go to work. Now, as I mentioned earlier, This tool can allow you to have people hold you accountable if you choose to, and it can be used to help hold others accountable. And this is done by simply sharing your calendars with each other. And when you share each other's calendars with your team members, you may also identify tasks that may be able to be combined with somebody else's tasks. So that's it. Your deadlines should be identified as your critical tasks, and everything else can be plugged in around those whenever you can get them in. Now, I realize this is not a perfect system, but it allows you to watch your time much closer and get things done on time. And if you share it with others, they will know when you are working on critical tasks and when to leave you alone and when you have some time to talk. Hey, give it a try and let me know what you think. I have noticed this works very well for me as long as I have my calendar filled up and I follow it. If I stray away from the things that are on my calendar, well, I have a tendency to get in trouble, and I'm usually scrambling to get things done at the last possible hour. If you have better ways to track your time and meet deadlines, man, I'd love to hear them. Please email me at paul@clcteam.com and share your thoughts. And by the way, if it's easier to jump on a phone call or a Zoom call, let me know in that email and we can find a good time to discuss it. Hey, that's it for today. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. And until Monday, run to your challenges.